What is up, guys? Welcome to First Cut. This is our Oscar prediction episode. I am here with Sabrina and RB3, and we are excited to talk about this year's Oscar nominations. We are big Oscar fans. All of us love award films, so we are excited to talk about what we think is going to win and how it's going to be decided at this year's Academy Awards. So we're going to do who we want to win and who will win. Like we always do every year, we're going to decide the one that we personally, in our hearts, would love to see get a victory, but who we actually think will win as well. And sometimes those line up. I think they're going to line up a lot this year, in my opinion. Let's start with the first category, which is actor in a leading role. The nominees are Riz Ahmed for Sound of Metal, Chadwick Boseman for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Anthony Hopkins for The Father, Gary Oldman for Mank, and Stephen Yeun for Minari. I'll start with you, Sabrina.
I think it's easily cemented that the frontrunner for this is Chadwick Boseman, and I am definitely not mad about that at all. I think out of this entire list, the three best performances are Riz Ahmed, Chadwick Boseman, and Stephen Yeun. I would also, I did just finish The Father, so I would not mind if Anthony Hopkins won, but Chadwick Boseman is my choice, and he is the clear winner.
RB3.
Yeah, Chadwick should win, and yeah, he's going to win. I mean, it's obvious, and if they didn't give it to him for this, I mean, it's like a afterlife lifetime achievement award, like almost in a certain way. So, because when you go back and watch, I just watched Get On Up again recently, and he's so good in that. He's like such a magnetic character actor and personality. So I mean, I also love Riz Ahmed and The Sound of Metal as well. That's another brilliant performance. This
is a tough year because we do have a lot of really great performances, and people like the Anthony Hopkins and the Gary Oldmans are kind of at the bottom of this, and then we have like Stephen Yeun, Riz Ahmed, and Chadwick with these stellar performances.
Yeah, I agree with everything you guys have said. It's exciting to see people like Stephen Yeun and Riz Ahmed nominated, and hopefully that leads to more future nominations for them. But I think if any year, Chadwick Boseman, let's start off with the film as a whole. His performance in this movie is phenomenal. Like, I really do feel like there is no denying that he is one of the best performances of the year. So I don't feel like necessarily this is like, oh, we're just giving it to him because of what he's done in the past and all that. I really do feel like he's worthy to win it for just this film, which is why I will say Chadwick will win and he should win. So yeah. Let's move on to actor in a supporting role. The nominees are Sacha Baron Cohen for The Trial of the Chicago 7, Daniel Kaluuya for Judas and the Black Messiah, Leslie Odom Jr. for One Night in Miami, Paul Raci for Sound of Metal, and Lakeith Stanfield for Judas and the Black Messiah. I'll start with you, RB3, this time.
In my opinion, the should win is Daniel Kaluuya and Judas and the Black Messiah. To me, he killed it. He knocked out the park, even though a little bit of a miscasting in terms of like the age, but otherwise, he did a really great job, and he really overcame the British thing. I know a lot of people was hating on him for that, but still really did a great job. And I just think nailed it as Fred Hampton. He really got that charisma. And I think that's why he's winning all the awards. Now, will win, though, it's a little bit tricky because I think everything is indicating that he will win, from the Golden Globes win and the SAG win. But the fact that they also nominated Lakeith Stanfield is a little weird. I don't know if that is going to split the vote somehow. If some people who are going to vote for Judas and Black Messiah are going to think they're going to vote for Lakeith because he had a meteor role or something like that, and it might mess things up. So even though I think there's a good chance that Daniel Kaluuya will win, I'm still going to say Leslie Odom Jr. pulls it out as the will win for this one. So
what?
Whoa, out of nowhere. What?
Wow.
It's Leslie Odom Jr. He comes out with a steel chair because why? I don't think he's won anything. Right?
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I mean, this splitting the vote, we've seen it happen time and time again when things have been wars and they split the vote at the very last second at the Oscars. Kate Winslet had a situation like that, I believe, a few years ago. So.
Yeah, but out of everyone, Leslie Odom, do you think he's higher up there than maybe Sacha Baron Cohen, who did win a Golden Globe as well?
No, but that's for comedy. That's for comedy. It doesn't count.
Sure.
Hasn't
I
came out.
agree. I don't think it should. I don't think it should be nominated, in my opinion. But that's a whole different conversation.
I had
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
had a similar thought process to RB3 about the splitting the vote. I honestly, personal 100% opinion, think Paul Raci should get it. I thought
Really?
Paul Raci was as good as Riz Ahmed was in the film with even less screen time. They were both incredible. He should be in the conversation just as much as Riz Ahmed is. It was really beautiful to see them interact on screen. So Paul Raci is my personal choice. I know he's never going to win. That's kind of why I'm rooting for him in this. It is between Daniel Kaluuya for me, and I hate Sacha Baron Cohen. As much as I enjoy him, I do think there is a very high chance that he's going to get the win in this category.
I think it's possible. I would be so mad if he does get to win, because I really do feel like it's Daniel Kaluuya's award by a mile, in my opinion. Everything RB3 said, he really does turn into Fred Hampton in that movie and really transforms his role. So I will say will win, should win, Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah, I hope he wins. I think he will win.
I hope so too.
I'm like 60% sure he's going to win, but the 40% is saying Leslie Odom, and for me too.
I'd like to see Leslie Odom. If it's not Daniel Kaluuya, I'd love to see Leslie Odom get it.
If I'm being real too, y'all, I'm gonna say this up front. I don't think they're giving white people any awards this year. Like, in terms of the acting, like, I'm being real. I'm just seeing how the vibe is right now, and I don't think it's gonna happen.
We're literally moving on to a next category where I think a white person is gonna win it.
Okay.
That's actress in a leading role.
All right.
Because this is the white people movie, bro.
I mean, yeah.
Sorry, y'all, but it is. Actress in a leading role. The nominees are Viola Davis, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Andrew Day, The United States versus Billie Holiday, Vanessa Kirby, Pieces of a Woman, Frances McDormand, No Man's Land, and Carey Mulligan for Promising Young Woman. I already spoiled mine, so I'll just say it. It's going to be Frances McDormand. Even though I feel like if I had to pick, I mean, obviously Frances McDormand does what she does and she kills it. But I would say Viola Davis. That's my opinion. What do you think, Sabrina?
This is the hardest category out of all of them, especially for anyone who's keeping up with the stats from other awards. Viola just won SAG. Frances has won a ton. Andra Day, she won the Golden Globe. Carey Mulligan's won a ton of awards as well. Her and Frances are basically neck and neck when it comes to the smaller awards. I'm going to go Carey Mulligan as an upset, even though it is kind of,
an upset.
It's not even, yeah, it would be an upset just because of Frances McDormand, everything that, you know, she's won awards in the past. She seems to be a favorite. I would personally choose Viola Davis, but I'm going with Carey Mulligan will win. And this is genuinely the hardest category. I feel like this is the biggest toss up, and on any given day, anyone besides Vanessa Kirby could win. I feel like Vanessa Kirby's the only one that's counted out at this point. Just because all the rest of them have gotten.
She's definitely worthy though for a nomination.
Oh, the movie, it's great. Yeah, the film was great.
Phenomenal.
I would have loved to see somebody like Sydney Flanagan get nominated for an Oscar, but
that's true.
If not, like, all these performances are incredible. I just think she's the one that's kind of already counted out based off of past awards.
Even Andra Day has a shot, if we want to be honest, because of that win that she got. What do you think, RB3?
To me, I think, even though Frances McDormand is a Hollywood legend, even though I think, you know, No Man's Land,
she won a lot of awards, man.
She won a lot of awards. I do think, you know, the fact that she's a producer on this movie also, like, helps them kind of ease their minds and thinking, oh, okay, maybe we're not going to vote for her in this category because she is going to win for when they nominate for Best Picture. I mean, you think that's funny? You think that's, I mean, we're laughing at that, but that's how some of these people think. You got to understand, these are like 8,000, 9,000 Academy members we're talking about here. Yeah. At the same time, like, I think people know, like, they screwed over Viola Davis for years upon years upon years. Like, they knew they shouldn't have put her in Best Supporting Actress that year.
You're going to say should win, will win Viola Davis?
I think should win, will win is Viola Davis for sure. I think that's especially from SAG. I mean, the actors vote for these categories. I think SAG is an indicator. And besides, like, bro, this is Black Lives Matter. Like, this is like 2021 we're talking about. It's a different time. I don't think they're gonna make the same mistakes as like they made in previous years. And just like
to have actor and actress both be from Ma Rainey's Black Bottom would be definitely interesting.
It would be. I still feel like that would still subside because Best Picture is still the biggest award in any
Yeah, of
that
course.
oversees
True,
everything. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, it really does.
they don't want an Oscar so white situation. Like, they want the exact opposite. Like, I'm sure of that. And just from seeing what SAG has gotten so far, what Golden Globes has gotten so far, like everything is going like out of the park.
Yeah.
Like, you know, for people of color, like winning these awards. So especially for Viola, I mean, Viola's been having like her moment, like in 2020, like even before Ma Rainey came out. You remember during the summer, she had that speech that went viral, like, you know, where she was, you know, being compared to like Meryl Streep and not even paid as much. Like, people been hyping up Viola Davis for a long time, deservedly so. Like, I think this is a real momentum shift we're gonna see. And it might be a little bit of an upset, but I don't think it's the biggest upset.
I don't think it would be either, but I still feel like Frances McDormand's going to win. That's just my thoughts as far as what everyone's saying. Actress in a supporting role, the nominees are Maria Bakalova for Borat subsequent film, Glenn Close for Hillbilly Elegy, Olivia Colman for The Father, Amanda Seyfried for Mank, and Yoon Jung-yoon for Minari. I'll start with you, RB3, on this one.
To me, will win and should win is Yoon Jung-yoon and Minari.
Oh,
yeah,
I like it. Sabrina, what do you think?
I agree. Will win, should win. Yoo Jung-yoon. Yeah. I would like to see Maria Bakalova. Like, if they don't go with Yoo Jung-yoon. No, if they don't go, I just don't want to see Glenn Close. Olivia Colman did do really great on The Father. I just feel like you cannot say that there's a better supporting performance than Yoo Jung-yoon.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna make it a three-peat, y'all. Yoon Jung-yoon for Minari. You guys know how I feel about that movie. I think I put it like my number 2 of the year. I love that movie, and yeah, she's worthy. And I would love that win. I think it'd be a great win for her. Mm-hmm. Let's go to animated feature film. A little bit of a twist here. What a weird. Okay, let's just read the nominations. Nominations for animated feature film are Onward,
Disney,
Over the Moon,
Netflix,
A Shaun and the Sheep movie,
Netflix,
Farmageddon,
Soul, and
Disney.
Wolf Walkers. This is the easiest one, guys. It's gonna be Soul. It should be Soul.
Yeah,
I'll go to you, RB3.
Yeah, I mean, it's monopolizing. Netflix and Disney monopolize this one. It's a little bit weird, but I'm all for it. These are all great films. I don't know if y'all saw. I used to be.
I haven't seen.
Yeah. No, the only one I haven't seen is Wolf Walkers, but that's Apple TV. Soul is definitely the winner. No denying it. It's just what makes me wonder is that they put Pete Docter and Dana Murray on here. Part of me wonders is Kim Powers going to be included in that Oscar win too? I don't know. That's a little funny.
I noticed that as well. That is really interesting, but Soul, I think, is going to be the winner, but Wolf Walkers, I think, is one that we shouldn't count out. That's basically one of the front runners in terms of the discourse and the conversation. People are going to bat saying Wolf Walkers deserved it. I have not seen it, so I can't speak on that, but I think Soul should win, will win.
I think there's been so many years when we've given this award to subpar Disney films, and finally they make a great one.
Yeah,
we gotta award the great one. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, my number one of the 2020.
Let's finish out this half with cinematography. The nominees for cinematography are Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, News of the World, Nomadland, and Trial of the Chicago 7. I'll go to you, Sabrina. This is kind of a strange category as far as like we don't know who's going to win. At least I don't think we know. What do you think?
News of the World, baby. No, I have
Tom
no
Hanks?
idea. Yeah, I have no
White Boy
idea.
Summer?
Nobody talked about. Nobody even talked about News of the World for so long. I'm surprised to see you get this nomination for this. I think will win, should win, would be Nomadland. I kind of expect to see Nomadland get that award. Yeah. This is a hard one for me. This is a really tough one because I really do also enjoy Mank's cinematography, and that's one of my favorite aspects of that film. Because obviously you guys know but also Judas and the Black Messiah had really, really great cinematography. So, what do you guys think?
Yeah, what do you think, RB3? I'm kind of disappointed there's not one in here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very disappointed Tenet's not here. I don't know why. I think that movie's very well shot. I don't know.
I kind of agree. I'm low key with you. I still think Minari should be in here too, though.
Minari
I think
definitely
Minari
too.
would be my number one if it was nominated.
Why is Trial of Chicago 7 in here? We have to
Why is
stop playing.
Chicago Chicago 7 at all in there? It's
I
what
don't understand. That's ridiculous.
cinematography. All
Yeah.
right, go ahead, man. Sorry.
News of the World they paid for, and Judas and the Black
Yeah,
Messiah is actually a pleasant surprise because it actually is a really well shot movie.
it is.
That's one of the things like I stood out to me when I first saw it. To me, the will win is Nomadland, for sure. The should win, the should win. I think is No Man's Land, but I'm not gonna lie, Mank is really beautiful to watch. Like Mank is a very beautiful movie to look at. The black and white cinematography, the way they use the cameras. I've spoken about this before, but there's scenes where you can see them like fade to black. They're not fading to black in film. You can literally see the lights fading down themselves. Like, so they must have had somebody on the dial, like bringing it down manually. That's really nice. I appreciate those little touches. The fact that they only shot it in black and white too. So yeah, I'm kind of actually, maybe I will say Mank does deserve to win in my opinion, but
Mank low key is like pretty dope. I just think the problem with Mank is the scale. There isn't a lot of scale there. A lot of it is Gary Oldman in a room. That's like, at least half the movie. So I feel like that's a problem when it's cinematography and you're just kind of mixing up the shots in the room. Obviously, when they go to the set and all that, it's some really cool shots, really well shot. And obviously the black and white aspect, the lighting aspect is really important. But I'm going to say will win Nomadland, should win. I'll say Judas and the Black Messiah. I'll say that.
Yeah. There's one scene in Judas and the Black Messiah that I think was like great acting, but also great cinematography. The scene where Fred Hampton is speaking to the leader, to the other gang, and then there's a moment where Lakeith Stanfield gets like realized from a previous scene by another character, and they do like this really like cool like shot where it's like a dual split focus of like you see him on this side of the frame and Lakeith on this side of the frame, and it's like super intense. I don't know. There's some really good shots in there. So
those were some cool shots in that entire scene where you see the guys up on the rafters with the guns just lining up right behind the head of Fred Hampton. It was really cool. Either way, guys, with that being said, we're going to go to break. When we come back from the break, we're going to talk about screenplay and then obviously the biggest one of all, Best Picture.
This ain't funny, so don't you dare laugh. With the 4/5 divide you in half. You getting at me equals a bloodbath. You do the math, take you out the equation. This ain't funny, so don't you dare laugh.
Did you watch Godzilla vs. Kong? Well, check out our spoiler review available exclusively on First Cut. Enjoy.
I thought this movie was okay. I'm with you guys. Obviously, the fights were a lot of fun and all that, but I still feel like out of all the MonsterVerse movies, as far as the ones we are currently in now, I think this might be the weakest human one. As far as like, I just did not care at all about Rebecca Romijn, Alexander Skarsgård, and then the evil people of color.
Well, first of all, it was Rebecca Hall.
Rebecca
Hall.
Yeah,
I'm
she's
sorry.
not lettuce. Come on now.
I apologize, but either way, I just didn't care. And I thought it was whatever.
Check out our new website on geeksofcolor.co/first-cut to check out our reviews, our videos, and articles that pertain to everything First Cut related. Check it out.
Come along, children. Now we're going to have a little music.
What is up, guys? We're back talking about our nominations for Oscars. This is not our nominations. These are the nominations for Oscars. We're going through them, picking our nominees and who we think.
Our predictions.
Our predictions. That's what it is, RP3. I'm going nuts, guys. Either way, let's start with original screenplay for writing. The nominees are Judas and the Black Messiah, Minari, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and The Trial of Chicago 7. Ooh. I think this one might be split for will win and should win. What do you think, Sabrina?
This is so hard. There are so many of these. I think will win. I feel like it's going to be Trial of Chicago 7 will win. Of course, it's Sorkin, and this has already gotten so many nominations. People are really loving Trial of Chicago 7. I would be absolutely shocked if Trial of Chicago 7 doesn't win in this category. I think should win. literally any of the other movies. Any of the other
You
movies
got to pick
besides
one.
that.
Come on.
Okay, should win. My personal pick,
Yes.
I would have to say Judas and the Black Messiah for screenplay, this is a very tough choice, but I would say Judas and the Black Messiah.
That's a hefty screenplay. RB3, what do you think?
Unfortunately I do think it will be Trial of Chicago 7 that will win. It's really looking like it's pushing that direction, all the love they're giving it. I think should win. I would actually probably give it to Minari. I really love the screenplay of Minari. I thought it was very moving. Part of me also wants to say Promising Young Woman as well, because I think that's
Promising
also
Young Woman's really well written.
Yeah, very inventive screenplay, very original. But I don't know. But I also think Minari is up there too. So like you said, Sabrina,
all of these are good.
Any of the other ones, literally any of the other ones, like besides Trial of Chicago 7, is like, because even Judas and Black Messiah. Yeah,
I'm gonna drop my my upset. I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna say Minari is gonna win.
It's not
Minari's gonna win. Lee Isaac Chung coming up with that interception out of nowhere. I'm gonna say Minari's gonna win, and I feel like they should win. So we'll see what happens. I just don't think like enough people are gonna be like Trial of Chicago 7, Aaron Sorkin, he did it.
No, it is
like come on, y'all.
I'll get to that when we get to the category, but I really do have a feeling that it's gonna take home awards that we don't want it to. So
yeah, we'll see. Let's move on to adapted screenplay, which is the nominees are Borat's subsequent film, The Father, Nomadland, One Night in Miami, and The White Tiger. What do you guys think? I'll start with you, RB3.
I mean, it's interesting. I partially feel like Nomadland will win because it seems to have so much momentum right now. What should win though? I'm going to say One Night in Miami. I think it did a really good job adapting that screenplay and making it feel cinematic in every way that it possibly could. So that would probably be my. But even on Nomadland, I'm still a little shaky. I don't know if it's going to win. This one's a little more competitive than I think the other categories.
I'm gonna do it again. One Night in Miami should win. Will win. Okay. I think it's adaptation, right? This is clearly the best adapted screenplay of the year, in my opinion. So that's my choice. What do you think, Sabrina?
That's because the actual best adapted screenplay wasn't nominated. I'm thinking of Ending Things for Charlie Kaufman. It wasn't even nominated. That would have been my choice, but since I have to go off of this list, I'm gonna say will win. It really is. I feel like they might give it to The Father. And if you has either of you seen it yet?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. They did a really, really great job with the screenplay. I really enjoyed the film a lot more than I even thought I was going to. So I feel like if you're gonna give any award to The Father, it would be this one. It's just like dizzying, immersive. Like we are put into Anthony Hopkins' character's perspective. It is something else. I haven't seen anything that interesting in like a while. So I say will win The Father, should win One Night in Miami.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with The Father, but obviously you never know, man. Old people have power in Hollywood and they love movies about old people. So you might be right. You might be onto something. Let's move on to our favorite category, RB3. And I hope you're ready.
Visual effects.
Visual effects.
Hey, man,
we've had battles. We've had wars. I've had snipers on your head. You've had assassins chasing my back. All about visual effects, and we get into debates about it. But this year's nominees are a little bit sad, in my opinion. The nominees are Love and Monsters, Midnight Sky, Mulan, The One and Only Ivan. I'm sorry, and Tenet. RB3. You have a clear winner here, right?
Well, yeah, I do have. Well, first, let me say the Midnight Sky Netflix film. Congratulations, Netflix. They always find a way to get visual effects nomination. And I think it was really good. They look really great on the big 4K. That was one of the first movies I watched on a big 4K TV downstairs. Mulan, come on now. Tenet as the clear winner should win and will win. So,
What do you think, Sabrina?
Yeah, I think out of this list, the only one that I really care about in this category is Tenet. And I'm not even as big of a Tenet stan as the two of you are. Are you both
yeah,
Tenet stans?
I'm a
You
Tenet
guys are
stan.
both, right? I
I'm a
know,
Tenet stan.
RB3, I know you are.
You're like, I don't even remember what you said about that.
I was like, I can't remember because there was just so much discourse, but I think will win, should win Tenet. And I would be really, really happy to see it because I was blown away by the visual effects in this film.
I think this is an easy one, and it should be an easy one. It is will win, should win Tenet by a lot.
Yeah.
Tenet is insane.
And no nomination for sound category. We can skip over that category because they didn't nominate it.
Yeah, we're skipping the short films too,
Sound
guys.
of Metal deserves it and will win.
Yeah, it'll probably win it.
Wait, before we skip over short films, Two Distant Strangers, really dope one. It was actually produced by Kevin Durant and a lot of cool people, and you can actually stream that.
He's texting me some wild stuff, bro.
No, I mean, hey, he's a funny guy. So it's a really good one. You should check that. Also, an animated short film, Borrows, on Disney Plus. A lot of these short films you can actually stream. And shout out to If Anything Happens, I Love You. Some people from USC actually worked. Some of my classmates from USC actually worked on this film, and is nominated. Shout out to Will McCarmack, USC graduate, recent graduate, so very close associate. So I didn't know him personally, but close to people I'm close with. So
let's move on to original score. Original score is always a great category because everyone loves music, and music in films is super important. The nominees for original score are The Five Bloods, Mank, Minari, News of the World, and Soul. There is one gigantic, massive snub here that I think is unforgivable, and that everyone's like, oh, he already won one. And I'm like, I don't care. I literally floated when I listened to it. I was levitating, bro. My feet were off the ground like Chris Angel when I listened to that damn score because it's incredible. Where the hell is Ludwig Göransson for Tenet? That score like blew me away. Either way, this is the nominees we have to work with. So I'm going to start with my other score that I really did get blown away by as I was watching the movie, and I tweeted this out. I said, wow, this is the best score I've heard all year. It is Soul. I thought the score for Soul was phenomenal. Should win, will win by a mile. It's going to be Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross for Soul.
Yeah, 100% agree. Will win, should win. Soul. It's not.
It's gorgeous, man. That stuff was wild. When I heard it, I was like, yo, this is an animated movie. I feel like I'm watching like something else. It was phenomenal. What do you think, Sabrina? Oh, yeah, go to RB3.
No, I'm sorry. I was just going to say the score was so good. It even helped Soul get a sound nomination, which you don't really see animated films get sound nominations that much. But
yeah. I actually agree with you guys 100%. I think Soul will win, should win. I really got to see News of the World because with all these nominations and all these random categories, cinematography, score, I'm just curious as to how it is, Well, yeah, but
it's that
still,
Tom Hanks money, bro. It's that Chet Hanks money.
Chet Hanks?
I'm selling all those T-shirts.
Hey, Jamaican man, come on now.
It's a white boy summer.
Yeah,
Anthony Hopkins and Gary Oldman. Let's go. It's a white boy summer.
Yeah.
Legit, bro. It's always a white boy summer at Oscars, guys.
Yeah, Oscar time.
White boy summer. Anywhere in Hollywood, white boy summer. Yeah, I'm with you, Sabrina. But it's whatever. News of the World. That's just my opinion. You said Soul as well?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to international film. I'm curious to hear you guys talk about this. International film. Nominees are Another Round, Better Days, Collective, The Man Who Sold His Skin, and Quo Vadis Aida. What do you guys think? Have you seen any of these?
I have. Oh, dude. Okay. So I watched Another Round a hot minute ago, way before I even finished the rest of the ones that were kind of like the Oscar films that I was trying to catch up on by the end of the year. Another Round absolutely blew me away. I think will win, should win, even though it is the only one that I've seen on this list. So obviously I could be wrong. But the reason why I do think it's a lock to win is because the director is nominated for Best Director as well. So I just think that is 100% a lock for him to get international feature film.
What do you think, RB3?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to. I mean, you don't have to watch any of these movies to know what's going to win. It's definitely going to be another round, just for the fact that it's nominated for Best Director. It just shows it has a really wide appeal. Also, Collective is nominated for Best Documentary.
I was going to mention Collective. Yeah, Collective is
Yeah.
getting a lot of buzz too.
Yeah, it's best. It's a 4-hour movie, not very accessible. By the way, Snyder Cut people, hey, 4-hour movie, Romania,
Hey,
come on now.
Snyder
See,
Cut for the Oscars.
Come on, Warner
Snyder
Brothers.
Cut for Oscar.
Yeah.
I'm with you guys. I think it's going to be another round, but it could be an upset for Collective. I could see that because of the attention it's getting. Speaking of directing, guys, let's do it. Best Director. Nominees are another round. It is Thomas Vinterberg, Mank, David Fincher, Minari, Lee Isaac Chung, Chloe Zhao, Nomadland, and Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman. Can I throw my hat in the ring for Regina King? Throwing my hat for Regina. I think she should be in there. That's just my opinion. Who do you guys think is going to win, and who do you guys want to win? Sabrina.
Out of this list, I would really like to see basically this is tough. I think should win personally. I would go Lee Isaac Chung.
Wow.
I think I really do, him or Chloe Zhao. She's won a lot of the awards. I thought if they were going to go any different direction with this one, if they were going to give Nomadland Best Picture, give Lee Isaac Chung Best Director, I don't know. I think it's going to be Chloe Zhao, but for me personally, I would pick Lee Isaac Chung.
What about your number three?
Yeah, I mean, to me, I would probably say Chloe Zhao will win, and I personally think she should win too. I mean, I think Lee Isaac Chung did an amazing job with Minari and made a really beautiful, personal, heartfelt story. I just think that Chloe Zhao has her directorial style is a little more distinctive, and I think that really is something that Academy voters really look for in who they pick to win. So,
can I throw a wrench for you guys? What about Spike Lee?
Spike Lee for nominated for Best Director?
Yeah.
I don't think he should be nominated for Best Director. If I'm being real with you, because I like The Five Bloods, but it wasn't even near one of his best, nor was it. I don't think it was even that. It wasn't near the caliber of some of these movies. Now that being said, though, even though David Fincher is like a lower tier, nominee, like relative to I think Chloe Zhao and Lee Isaac Chung and maybe even Emerald Fennell, I still do think if anything they might show him some love because he's a veteran director who's still to this day has never won Best Director. Can you believe that? So I think if anything that might give him a little sympathy for David Fincher, but I still think it's Chloe Zhao's to take home.
It is.
I think it really is special. Yeah, it's too special of a year when it comes to stories like Lee Isaac Chung and Chloe Zhao's films. It's too special to give the award to somebody like David Fincher at this point, even though that film is still special and it does mean a lot to David Fincher, obviously with the connection with his father. It would be pretty surprising at this point.
It really would be, because I really do feel like Chloe Zhao has it in the bag in her living room already. Like this is a lock. I'm with you though, Sabrina. If I'm being honest, Lee Isaac Chung for Minari. Mm-hmm. I really do feel like that is something special there, and a lot of it is just based off the performances you get from the cast.
Yes,
and then the combination of obviously the score and the cinematography, that is a director's job as a whole, is to kind of bring it all together, and I think he killed that. So that's my choice, but I think it's Chloe Zhao for sure. Speaking of which, we are finally there, men and women. We have arrived at Best Picture, which has, I think, 9 nominees. Let me read it out. The Best Picture nominees are The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, Minari, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and everyone's favorite is going to take it all,
Tenet?
Trial of the Chicago 7, who just won a SAG award, so low-key might be an upset. It might. This is exactly what I was. No,
it's possible. It is not 100%.
Oscars for Molly's Game. Hashtag Molly's Game deserved all the awards.
Not Molly's Game. Come on,
It's
now.
the same thing as Molly's Game. It's the same guy.
I'm nervous.
Molly's Game is better than this.
They won.
Shots fired.
It is better. They won ensemble, and that bodes really well usually for something like a Best Picture. Unfortunately, that is something that people look at a lot with this one. But also, Nomadland wasn't nominated for something like that, so that's also something you have to take into account. I think it's Nomadland's to win, but I personally, again, I'm going with this one. Minari would be my personal choice. Everything that Andre said in the last one, the performances from every single member of the ensemble, it just is something so special. It stuck with me. I couldn't stop thinking about it for days. I loved Nomadland. I really, really enjoyed it, but it did not hit me the same way Minari hit me. Minari and Never Rarely, Sometimes Always were the two most emotionally impactful films that I had seen in the last year. I would love for it to go to a film this special. Yo, if Trial of Chicago 7 gets it, yo.
Eddie Redmayne goes up there, gives a great speech. You imagine Eddie Redmayne taking the Oscar like he did last time? I'm gonna just say mine. It's gonna be Nomadland. It's so guaranteed in my opinion. I really do feel like this is Chloe Zhao, and everyone's talking about Nomadland. But I do feel like it should be Minari. I think Minari is just phenomenal how it transcends so many people's stories, even though it's just not the same culture. I'm not Korean, guys, but I saw myself in that movie more than I've ever seen myself ever. And that's saying a lot because I really did feel like this is literally my story. First, I'm an immigrant as well, but my family is, so I'm first generation American. So my dad came to this country, always spoke with Spanish, worked in a very hands-on type job, in a very overwhelming community. So it's definitely a story that I feel like a lot of people I've seen on Twitter relate to so much, even though they come from like the Middle East or South America or Europe or other parts of the nation. This is very much an immigrant American story, and it's I think it's the most timely thing that you can possibly deliver. But yeah, that's my decision, or that's what I would decide. So
no, I agree 100% because I'm also first generation American, and I just saw like bits and pieces from my own childhood, the stories that I've been told about my family and their entire journey. And out of this entire list, like this really does, it like celebrates the idea and the interesting concepts of like both Nomadland and Minari kind of tackle like the American dream, but in such different ways. And the way Minari tackled it just, I feel like resonates with me and genuinely is so timely. So that's why I agree with you.
what do you think, RB3?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything y'all are saying so far. I definitely think, I mean, obviously Minari is magnificent and wonderful. But I'll probably personally say I'll probably go No Man's Land for both will win and should win. I do think it is one of those. I think it's a very unique film. I think it's such a brilliant portrayal of what like America is now in such an honest way. But also evaluating like what we are, not just America, but what as we are as people, like what humans are as individuals. We're just constantly searching for answers. And I don't know, I think in the year of like 2020 where we explored a lot of that, like indoors, it's kind of nice seeing a movie that's like all outdoors, kind of live with that. Also too, before I pass the mic over one more time, I do want to shout out the documentary that I hope to win Time on Amazon Prime. I didn't even expect this movie to be nominated. I didn't even think it had a chance to be nominated, but I'm pulling for it to win now.
No Boy
really
State.
the only one I care about. No Boy State. I thought Boy State was going to be in there, but it's not. And Crip Camp is probably going to win though. That's the one. That's Obama's.
I disagree. I think it's going to be. I think it's either going to be Time or Collective. Is Collective in there?
Collective is nominated, but
yeah, I think it's Time or Collective.
Yeah, I think they have a hard time with foreign documentaries because there was a similar year where there was like a foreign film nominated for both Best Foreign Language Film and Best Documentary.
Yeah, that was the Honeybee movie, right?
Yeah. And for Best Documentary Short Film, real quick, A Love Song for Latasha, very beautiful story. You can find that one on Netflix. It's about the young lady who was unfortunately killed by a shop owner in the early 1990s in South Central LA, and that was one of the sparks of like the LA riots and stuff like that. Very undertow story. And if you want to watch that film, I think that's probably the front runner to win. I've been seeing a lot of people talk about it, and I think it's a great film and adds a new perspective to something we been talking about for a long time. So
before we go, Sabrina, any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, I mean, I love to see two movies directed by women. Obviously, on the list for Best Picture should be 3. I won. Oh my God, Regina King bodied
Regina King
that.
should have been in there, man.
She
really should have. I would put her over there over Fincher.
100%. I really do agree with you. Another thing I'll shout out, Delroy Lindo, of course, that snub. RB3 and I had already talked about it when we did our live stream. The 4 best actor performances, Delroy Lindo, Chadwick, Riz Ahmed, Stephen Yen, those were definitively it. But sometimes like your favorite ones get snubbed. I think honestly, his and Chadwick's are neck and neck, like the best performances of the year. So to not even see him get a nomination, get the accolade is kind of disappointing. Yeah, I also Charlie Kaufman, guys, didn't nominate. I'm thinking of anything just for adapted screenplay, not anything else. Just give me that little sprinkle of adapted screenplay, and I would have been happy. But overall, I'm genuinely impressed. Obviously, we do have kind of our easy choices, our safe choices, the stuff like Hillbilly Elegy, Trial of Chicago 7, The Greyhound, and News of the Worlds of it all. But overall, I'm actually impressed with how interesting these nominations are. Like all these different types of stories from different types of storytellers. That's something that I love to see. I think this is a really good reflection of the films we've gotten over the last year.
It's really interesting because I really do feel like we're about to reach, and we'll talk about it in later podcasts. So hopefully you guys stick around. If you're watching us for the first time or listening for the first time, you could subscribe to First Cut. We're on Spotify, we're on Apple, we're on YouTube, but we will be talking more about the Oscars. But I really do feel like this year is going to be kind of insane as far as how much the viewership is going to drop. It's going to be a massive drop. It's been dropping for the other award shows, but the Oscars one is going to be a big dip. And it's really, I think there's going to be a conversation to be had, maybe not this year, but next year, as far as what the movies are that we're picking, whether it be Trial of Chicago 7 or Nomadland, or all these other types of movies that are a little bit more not as exciting, I guess is the word to use. But we will see. The only other thing I want to say, and I'll end the note here, is that Daniel Kaluuya is going to win an Oscar. I'm saying it now. And I saw this guy, Black Mirror episode 2. Shout out to Black Mirror episode 2. Riding that bike, dancing his butt off just to get to the girl and save her from being sold off. A really crazy, beautiful, insane episode of TV. I saw him in that, and I was like, that homie is legit, and I'm so excited for him to win it. So shout out to Daniel Kaluuya.
That really is crazy because back in like 2009 or something like that, he was in this little teenage show, basically like a British Degrassi type of show called Skins. And that's where I saw him for the first time in 2009, 2010. It is amazing. And I saw him then and I recognized him immediately in Black Mirror. So I love that you mentioned that.
Yeah. And then from there, obviously he did a small role in Sicario. And then went to Get Out, which obviously I felt like I was so excited when he got nominated for that because I still feel like he was so worthy of that nomination. So good in that movie. And that was my favorite movie of the decade. So Daniel Kaluuya means a lot to me. Shout out to my bruv, Daniel Kaluuya.
My bruv.
My bruv. It's all good, bruv. Either way, guys, for the First Crew, Sabrina, where can everyone find you?
You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SabrinaXMonica, also on Twitter at SabrinaOnFilm.
RB3.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Director RB3.
And I'm at Squad Leader Ace, guys, on Twitter. Squad Leader Ace. I'm going to be tweeting more about anime stuff as well, so be tuned in for that. As well as basketball stuff, so be tuned in for that as well. Either way, guys, for the First Crew, we're peacing out. Peace.